Okay, so recently on an episode of TYT Community, which by the way can be seen on TYT Nation, so check it out, I got into a debate about the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, also known as SNAP, also known as WIC, also known as EBT, but more commonly known as food stamps. And one of the points I was making during the debate is that the statistics about the multiplier effect of food stamps are completely made up. Now, according to the Department of Labor or Bureau of Statistics, whatever department, for every dollar spent on food stamps, $1.84 in economic activity is created. Now, the reason I said that this statistic is made up is because it can't be proven, and it's absurd on its face. Think about it like this. If for every dollar we put into food stamps, because they are spent so quickly, this is the Keynesian justification, by the way, because most food stamps are spent within 3 weeks of being received, then that is what creates the multiplier effect. So let's allow the concept to be true, that for every dollar you give to somebody in food stamps, as long as they spend it within 3 to 4 weeks, $1.84 in economic activity is created. So immediately I say, why don't we just give infinite dollars to food stamps? That way we could have infinite plus one or times 1.84, which is also infinity for those of you scoring at home, amount of economic activity. We could all be super wealthy. We could all have infinite wealth. You see, the $1.84 in economic activity is pretty absurd on its face. In fact, taking money from one sector of the economy and giving it to another sector of the economy is only going to be a 1-to-1 ratio. There's no way you could pull this extra 84 cents of activity out of your ass. And in fact, it's never even a 1-to-1 ratio, because what happens is the government has to pay the IRS to take money from private citizens. Then the money is sent to DC. Then it's allocated to a program for the purposes of this conversation. It's the food stamp program, and that money has to go through administration costs. It has to be put in individual accounts. All of that costs money. So in reality, once the food stamps reach the person, it's probably twice as much money as the person has been paid in salaries to administration people and all these different costs. So you're having a negative economic impact. And not only that, you're having a negative economic impact because of all the distortions you create. You see, what happens is a lot of companies, in order to receive food stamps, have to fill out all this paperwork and jump through a million hoops in order to receive food stamps. That's why bigger companies like Walmart accept food stamps, but companies like your fucking local corner store don't accept food stamps because they can't meet the regulatory requirements. So you're actually distorting money in the economy. It would be better if you just gave people money that they could spend on whatever they want. But since the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program is designed to feed people, which is generally a good thing, the money can only be spent on the stores approved to sell food, and it can only be spent on certain brands that sell food. So that actually creates a distortionary effect. It tilts more to the people who are best at filling out paperwork rather than the people who provide the cheapest goods or services, or the best goods and services, or the most popular goods and services. So the food stamp program, well, could be noble. It helps a lot of people, undeniably. I will not deny that. And you might say it's worth the negative economic consequences of its existence. Is in no way a program that stimulates the economy. By its very nature, it hurts the economy and distorts the economy. It misallocates resources from where they would have normally gone. Now, that doesn't mean we should cut food stamps. That doesn't mean we should abolish food stamps. But it means that when we talk about this program, we can't use this made up multiplier effect about how it actually creates this crazy $1.84 of economic activity. It just doesn't make any sense. What we could say is, look, it distorts the economy, it hurts small businesses and helps big businesses, but you got to feed people. So we're willing to accept as a society some amounts of distortion in order to feed hungry people. That's the argument for food stamps. Not that it saves the economy, not that it produces all this economic activity. And the multiplier effect, for all intensive Keynesian purposes, is an absolute joke. If you want to talk about a real multiplier effect, think about YouTube. The people who created YouTube are billionaires right now. They sold to Google for like $4.8 billion. Their multiplier effect is you, all the people who post videos on YouTube, all the people who pay for ads on YouTube, all the content creators, and all that is wealth that is created or multiplied from the original innovation. Apple is a good example. People make apps for the iPhone. That original innovation multiplies into a lot of individuals making a lot of different innovations. That's the real multiplier effect. Not taking money from one sector and giving it to another sector, no matter how noble we think the cause is. That's it.